Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory. Last time we got this base built, starter factory with all of our basic iron needs up and running. Today I've got big plans, very big plans. We need smart plating. We need to sink that smart plating, which means we need to get the awesome shop and the awesome sink because I have got to actually build something. I hate it. I hate the box. We need something different. I want to get the resource sink as soon as possible. I've got some plans. I want to play around with the fix-it farming. So let's do it. First things first, I was thinking, do I just... I know what I said last episode, where I was just going to build a whole new factory to try and get smart plating, which I probably still will. We're not making enough. Like, we've only got 28 modular frames in here so far. We need way more than that. So what I'm thinking is we get some more iron, build another extension of this factory, and make that exclusively for smart plating. Whereabouts is our iron located? That's all the 6 nodes we've already used. Here's the next lot. Oh no, it's far, isn't it? Ooh, a couple pure nodes. Ooh, a lot of pure nodes. We can set these 2 pure nodes to be just our smart plating factory up here. That may be the way to go. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna head over that way. And I thought this might happen. Unfortunately, we've got a guest. Normally when you've got pure nodes like this, you're gonna have someone guarding it. But we should be okay, I hope. I don't think this is one of the scary boys. This is just one of the basic ones. Only 2 shots. Panicking for nothing. Pure nodes. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. 120 a minute is fantastic. This should be more than enough to build a little smart plating factory. I might quickly get this built. I might not even make it super pretty, if I'm being honest. Once I get Mark II miners, then I'll start making more permanent bases. But for now, we're kind of just building little crappy bases. Alrighty, so good news and bad news. Good news is that I didn't realize when you're working with a pure node, my word, is it easy. So we've got the smart plating here, and it needs reinforced iron plate and rotors. However, the recipe for reinforced iron plate gives you 5, and the recipe for rotors gives you 4. Now, with this, it only needs 2 and 2, so we can actually stack these up twice. So I'm going to be having 1 going to a bin, 1 is going to go to a resource sink, and everything else is all running off a single node of pure. I haven't even touched this one. It's all just the 120 iron, which is super nice. So making just like a solitary smart plating factory is really quite easy when you've got pure nodes. So that's quite nice. Now I did say there was good news and bad news. The bad news, whoops, we're way overpowered. So what I need to do, I think it's just because I don't have leaves in there at the moment. I only had it running off the wood. We can grab some leaves while we're on our way back to base. We'll fill that up temporarily, but we need to get something better going on for power. I've got one of 2 options. One, this biome has a ton of mushrooms around, like these guys here. These are actually mycelia. So when we chop these down with the chainsaw, if you have a look in the bottom left, we get mycelia. So we can do the exact same thing we've done with our other generators, but we can just have it so that we can make mycelia into biomass as well. That'd just be a kind of a temporary option. The other option is I start doing fix-it farming, and we try and get fix-it farming online. I don't know how viable that's going to be when ideally I want to have the smart plating going first. We'll set up mycelia, we'll get smart plating going, we'll sink it, then we'll start fix-it farming. I promise we're going to do it all today. This is going to be a big episode, but it's just about what order we do it in that's going to make the most sense. So I'm going to collect all these leaves while heading back to the space elevator, get power back up and running. So give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. So a good thing to do when you have built some sort of power generation is to make sure all of your wires are all going off a single kind of line here. Because what it means is I can just dismantle this, crank this back on, And then we can get the power up and running first, because obviously we've got to turn the leaves into biomass, which has then got to turn into biomass fuel, which then goes up into the generators. So if we just get that running for a little bit, have it all isolated, then we can connect the power back up. Later on, you can do this with fuse boxes as well, which is a lot easier. But just something to keep in mind, when you build your power generation, just make sure that it's all connected by one line. That way you can kind of hook it all back up when needed. Another way to do it is actually make like a distribution center. So if we were to say, you know, this line connects to the miners, this line connects to starter factory 1, and then you can just split your lines up that way. It's only really necessary when you're on frisky power like this, where the power is just always on the fritz. We should be okay once we get the biomass up and running. So as long as we get some of these generators turning green, which we've got a lot of these turning green at the moment. Yes, and yes. Fingers crossed we don't blow a fuse.
Please work. Please. Please.
Oh, alright. So we are... we're fine. We're fine. This shouldn't be a problem. The issue may be that I don't think everything is online. I don't think all the machines are actually turned on over at the smart plating, so I may need to get this mycelia up and running very quickly. Okay, and with our new power, just mycelia setup, it's exactly the same as our wood setup, just using mycelia instead. We are now, finally, at a capacity that feels a little safer. So now, we can get the resource sink.
Milestone reached. You have been given access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on Exoplanet's bonus program, also known as Awesome. Your awesome input allows Fixit to comprehend our amazing universe more clearly. In appreciation of this, we have generously set up an internal, closed economy with exclusive rewards and currency. Directing parts of varying quantity and complexity into the Awesome resource sink will grant Fixit coupons. These coupons can be redeemed in the Awesome shop for highly desirable items such as new foundations, walls, factory attachments, cosmetics, parts, and more. Next time you have additional resources, just remember to go that extra kilometer. Go Awesome.
That is what I'm talking about. That's what we want. So that is going to be our decorations. And I need those. So this is what we've got in the awesome shop. You got a little cart, you got the boombox and all of your music. That stuff is cool, but what I want, customizer, because we want to get all these different foundations and patterns. Those are nice. We want signs. Oh, I love signs. Signs are so nice. Floor conveyor lift, very, very important. And I think all the different types of foundations. Curves. I feel like Solarpunk is quite curvy, you know? There's lots of curves in Solarpunk, so I think that's what we're gonna probably be focusing on. It's trying to make stuff round, which this game isn't really made for round, but hey, we'll figure it out. Walkways, I love the walkways, and ladder. That is absolutely necessary. I honestly don't even know why this isn't part of the main unlocks and it's instead relegated to decoration. This factory ladder is not decoration. It is absolutely mandatory. That should be the first thing that you buy every single time you unlock the shop. So this is awesome.
He said it!
I am going to jump back over to, where was it? It was north. I'm going to jump back over to the smart plating. It may seem like a waste, but this is the way that I like to play. I like to decorate. I like to build really awesome stuff. Another really good way to get points, I'll show you as soon as we build the resource sink. In here is the resource sink. Now, the standard coupons is what we're doing at the moment, because that is what is coming from our reinforced smart plating, and that gives us points. But these DNA points, these are from the monster remains. So I've got these spitter remains here, and you can turn these into these DNA biomass capsules, I guess they're called, and they give you a ton of points. So those are really good as well. Ideally, I want to get some weapons manufacturing online so that we can collect a lot of these sort of resources, and then we can get that built. That'll be very cool. So what we're going to do is, while this is kicking up and running, and we've got some coupons going already, I'm going to start building the farming, because I need to have reliable power so that I can just leave this running without needing to go and collecting biomass all the time. So I reckon, let's head back to base, and let's see what farming's going to look like while this runs. Now, I don't believe this Ada has a voice line. No, she doesn't. So we've unlocked the crop plot, the seeds. We can build the buildings, produce crops and biocapsules. We've got to extract seeds from dirt. Not a problem. Down in the bottom here, we now have fixed farming. Now, I know the seed extractor is probably the main one because we need to go find dirt. Then we need to use dirt to unlock the crop plot, and we can make the farming platform. Okay, so first off, let's find dirt. Is that a scannable? It is scannable. Where is dirt?
A few minutes later.
Oh no. Dirt? Okay, so it's a kilometer away. Couple impure dirts. Ooh, they're all impure. Alright, well, I guess we'll head up there and we'll see if we can't get some dirt. Okay, so this is dirt.
You don't say.
So what can we do with dirt? Seed extractor. Insert dirt product to turn into seed. Oh, so we don't actually have like a dirt extractor yet. Oh, that's the other upgrade, which you need dirt to unlock that upgrade. Okay, give me another sec. I'm gonna mine some dirt. What was this? Basic crops? This is what's gonna give us the biomass. But it's not gonna give us dirt extractor. Ooh, okay. Is that a visual bug? Or do you not unlock that till tier 2? You have reached the milestone. Carrots, corn, wheat, potatoes have been unlocked. Can be farmed in the crop plot. Pioneer must manually farm these crops until later. Ooh, okay. Not ideal. It's all manual. Sugar. Okay. That means we need to get phase 1 done. I am going to quickly get phase 1 finished. We'll see if we can unlock the next tier of farming right away, because power is the big issue right now. Normally in phase 1 is when you would unlock coal power. So hopefully automated farming is in that same tier. Fingers crossed. I'll be right back. I'll grab the smart plating and then we will have a look. And we are back at the space elevator. I have the smart plating. Let's send it up. Bam. Sealed.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed. After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore, and exploit for a better Fix-It future.
Thank you, Ada. And send. Leave. This has a cool animation. Ooh.
Phase 1 of Project Assembly completed. This is only the beginning of Project Assembly, the first step towards saving the day. You have performed adequately so far. Reminder, not only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and/or puppies. Continue the work for their sake. Continue the work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of Project Assembly.
Well, I love kittens and puppies, so of course we're going to do that. But, wow, this is new. I have no idea what the hell is going on up there. I guess as we build more of it, we'll kind of see what's going on. But are we building like a space station? I mean, I don't know why we would. What is saving the day about building a space station? No idea. Maybe that'll bring, like, colonizers? No idea. I guess we'll find out as we progress. But let's have a look. Tier 3 and Tier 4. Coal power. Not happening. We probably will unlock... I mean, we're going to need to unlock it because it needs the water extraction and all that, but we're not going to be using coal generators. Vehicle transport. Tractors. Oh, that could be nice. If we could set up tractors and truck stops all along the farm, and then we don't have belts and all that interweaving all along. It's all done by tractor. It'd be very inefficient, but it'd look cool. That might be something we look at doing. In fact, that's very easy to unlock. Steel production, also very easy to unlock. And that gets us all of our steel stuff. That's gonna be pretty necessary. Enhanced security. We can do that for some free inventory slots. That's gonna be nice. Modular power. Oh, is this... This is part of the refined power mod. Interesting. I didn't actually know this even had this. It's got water power. So we got a coal heater. Turn into heat. Makes a waste product of carbon dioxide. I don't think so. I don't think we're making CO2. A boiler? Boil water into steam. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. Can we generate power through steam? I don't know, that's interesting. We might need to look into this. There's a lot going on there. But I see 150 megawatts of power, and that sounds fantastic. Refined Power Mark II? Solar panels, there we go. Okay. That's awesome. Definitely gonna need to start that, and I believe this is what we're gonna be using our coal for. Because coal is what we turn into carbon fiber, and then that's how we make all of our solar panels is through coal. But for these, we need steel. So we need to sort out all of our steel stuff first. Farming. Automatic harvesters. And farming platform Mark II. Just needs carrots and some basic stuff. That could be pretty easy if we manually farm carrots for now. And then we get into that. Oh, we're still going. Carbon refining. That's right. That's the that's for the solar panels because we need the carbon dust and carbon mesh. Makes its own steel. That's interesting. That's really cheap. Coal, iron, and limestone is the cost of the upgrade. Okay, nice. And enriched crops, irrigation. I'm still not seeing automation. That's a little scary. So that gives us corn. Oh, that costs corn carrot. Oh, but that unlocks carrots. No, we have carrots already. I don't know. We'll look into that because we need to get that up and running. So when we got these two, we can irrigate and harvest automatically, but we still can't plant automatically. Blueprints. Oh, blueprints are absolutely massive. I use blueprints a ton, so that's gonna be fantastic. We need that online immediately. That needs steel. Okay, I'm seeing a trend. Mark III belts. Steel. Advanced steel production has the Mark II miner. Oh god, I need all of this. I need it all. I might have 100 steel pipe. We might be able to get the Mark II miner immediately. That's exciting. Expanded power storage. So because we're going to be using a lot of wind and solar power, we actually do want a lot of power storage. Because I know that the power itself that is generated by wind and solar is not static. It's actually a sine wave. So the power does fluctuate. And that's a little scary when you're working on massive productions. So we're going to need lots of power storage. Basically going to need to build like a massive grid of power storage like they have in like solar farms. When you build a solar farm, you have a bunch of batteries so that at nighttime you've got the extra storage. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to need a lot of those. Hyper tubes. Oh, that's okay. That's awesome. This is going to be my main source of transportation because hypertubes feel futuristic, but it's a mode of transportation that's not negative to the environment. You know, tractors and trucks and all that, that I think ours are all electric, so I think we're going to be fine. But, you know, I don't want to... Actually, no, they're not. They burn fuel, don't they? Ooh, we may need to get biofuel up and running permanently so we can run tractors. The cooking hub, we can make muffins? Oh, we're going to be making muffins.
Muffins? No, don't lose focus!
That's awesome. Oh, hell yeah. Bog earth. It gets his greenhouse. Mycelia. We can grow mycelia. That's interesting. So we can make fabric with this mod. That's cool. But I'm still not seeing a dirt extractor. Oh my. It's probably just a miner. What am I thinking? Of course it's just a miner. I threw down portable miners on it. Of course it's just a regular miner. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Never mind. I'm a moron. Okay. We'll go back over. We'll chuck a bloody miner on it. And we'll put miners into the seed extractor. We'll see how that's going. And we'll just start farming carrots, I reckon. Okay, there's a lot going on. That's unlocked a lot. Steel is extraordinarily important. So we're going to need this coal power. And we're also going to need this carbon refining, because this also unlocks steel. So that's pretty cheap. Coal, limestone, iron. I might actually just have that. This is kind of my bin chest that I've been just putting like random ores into. Iron, limestone, 82. I don't think that's enough, is it? No, it's not. Okay, I'll need to get more coal and then we can sort that out. For now, that's fine. Okay, lots going on. Lots and lots going on. So, what do I do first? Oh my god. The opportunities are endless. I think we're going to go back to farming. We're going to put a miner down on it. And then we're going to see if we can't start automating some biomass for our fuel, for our power. Because if I can get automated power online, then everything else becomes way easier. We can go explore without worrying about our power grid shutting down. Okay. Oh, actually, before I run off, we have the shop. I need to get the coupons first. Coupons are in the sink. Okay, awesome thing with these sinks is the coupons are wireless. Doesn't matter where you generate them, you can print them anywhere. So now we have 17 coupons. Now, a couple things we absolutely need. First, ladder. So important. Need it. Second, concrete foundations. These are super important. They're not that important, but they make life a lot easier because rather than needing to build foundations out of concrete and metal, you can build them out of just concrete. And concrete's a lot easier to get a hold of. Okay, nah, too important. We need the conveyor floor lift and the conveyor wall hole, I think. Ceiling mount's also really nice. I need it all. Okay, I'll just do these for now. Just do those for now. That'll be it. So, this is the concrete foundation. So if we go into foundations, and you see this little drop-down menu up here, we can now change it to concrete. And look at this. It costs 7 concrete. Whereas in here, it costs 5 concrete and 2 iron plate. It's so nice. It's so, so nice. So we're going to be using those from now on for most of our stuff. There's also a trick, specifically with the concrete floors. If we go, these are gray, right? Let's say we want to make it white. Because, you know, that's kind of the theme, right? It's white. Well, they don't look any different, right? They look exactly the same. However, even though we have these sliders, we can do more with them. We set this to 1,000. Look at that. Look at that. Just ups the saturation like crazy. So I'm going to be using that a lot because, you know, I don't want gray. I want white. I want crisp, clean. It doesn't work as well with these, I don't think. Oh, it does. Yeah, okay. It still works with the metal walls. That's nice. But you see on here, it works on the face, but it doesn't work on the side. Certain foundations and ramps and all that have different textures. Because the concrete is kind of all one texture, it makes the whole thing bright white. So that's why I'm going to be using concrete a lot from now on. Because yeah, see that? Can't change the sides. But then I guess we also need decorations up. Oh, it's time. It's time. We're gonna start. Tell you what, let's get decorations in here because I keep ignoring them. Factory foliage. We're gonna need some of this. Gonna need some bushes, some flowers. Oh, this is gonna make our farm gorgeous. Got some vegetation. Oh, I'm telling you, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be fantastic. Factory decor. What is crash debris? Wall fan. Oh, these are cool. We can put down miners as props. Sensor poles, spools, robot arm. Oh, is that like from... Some of the machines have got automatic like robot arms as part of them. I guess they've taken that off so that you can place it as a prop. A MAM console. Because that could be cool like in the farm, right? Like you got a robot arm that's farming for you. Large drill head. Oh, this is really cool. There's a lot of stuff here. There's... Okay, there might be too much. Books? Alpaca?
It's all Sunday!
Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Not a problem. We'll see if we can figure out some of this. How much do these actually cost to upgrade? Oh, they're free. I mean, if they're free, we'll just unlock them all, right? And let's just have a quick look, right? What have we got? What do they cost? That's my question. So, factory foliage. I'm going to be using this a lot for the farm. So, if we just go... I mean, what? We want like some sort of ground cover. Alright, let's just... Big leaf. No. Is it free? What? It's free? Oh, that's so nice. We're going to be using this. We're going to be using this a lot. Wow, that's fantastic. That is so nice. Trees? Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. I need to stop because I'm never going to stop if I don't stop. Wow, that's amazing. Cool. I need to stop getting sidetracked. Let's go to the farm. Let's go up to the farm, and then we'll start building some of the stuff up there. I should probably grab some resources while I'm here. Hold on. Okay, do we want to check if I'm an idiot? Yep, it's confirmed. I'm an idiot. Okay. Miner on the dirt mine. Who'd have thought? Just put a miner on it. Okay. I do have a bunch of dirt in here, just because that's from all my portable miners that were going. So we might just hook it up to this for now, go through all that dirt first, then we'll start going through. Because if I'm thinking, if we build like a nice big barn, kind of encompassing the miners, because I don't really want to see the miners, right? You know, could build a big barn for them. We could even put like the seed extractor in there. So how big's the seed extractor? So we can put it in here. Nice big barn. Build our farming plots like out here. So then we could have conveyor belts just running out to all of them. I think I would prefer the tractor thing. That would be quite cool. For now, I think we just need to get automated power online. So maybe we'll ignore carrots for now, and we will go purely onto biomass. How do we actually do that? We need a farming platform. Let's just put this... Oh, I wonder if biomass is a byproduct. That's almost certainly what it is, isn't it? Okay. Let's turn something on. If we just turn this on. So you're only extracting 30 a minute, because this is an impure node, which isn't ideal. Well, I guess I don't know what ideal is for this, actually. Because I guess we need seeds to go in here before we can see anything. Okay, so extraction is in progress. Cool. Then what happens? Are you producing 60 of these? So 60 wheat, 60 corn, 60 potato, 60 carrot? Is that what's happening? So then we need to put these seeds into a farming plot. So the farming plot is this one, right? It only costs 10 megawatts of power. It's nice and cheap. I want to keep this sort of compact. If that's producing 60 of everything, does that mean this is 240 a minute we need an output of? That's kind of scary. And it's only one output, right? It's not multiple outputs? One output. Ugh, okay. Okay, this could be a problem. Because this farming plot can only do one, right? So if I want this to go into here, well, it's only doing... I guess I only want 60, right? So that is... That's all carrot seed. Is that just because it's the one at the bottom? That's all carrot? This can take everything. This is now taking carrots. And potatoes. Okay. There's potatoes too. This could be quite difficult without smart splitters. Because if we've got 4 things on a belt coming out, and then going to this, when these fill up, they're going to backlog. So if I'm only making carrots, as soon as the potato seeds fill up, this belt stops. Ugh, that's problematic. I guess I could just build 4 of these. I guess I don't know what the input and output is of this yet. Prop plot. Bam. So you've got 4? Is that right? We want carrots. Oh no, this is 1. Okay. Okay, well that's kind of cool. We got carrots growing. And this is producing... Oh, carrots and biomass capsule. Is that right? So it takes 20 carrot seed a minute. Produces 5 carrots, 5 biomass capsules. Oh my god, I'm gonna need a lot of these. Because if this is producing 60 seed a minute of each of these, and these can only use 20 a minute, that means I need 3 per one of these. So that's, quick math, 4 times 3 is 12. So we need 12 of these farming platforms? Yikes. That's a lot. Unless we just get those carrots done first. And then we kind of go from there. Because biomass capsules, I believe they can be turned into energy, right? I don't know why they wouldn't be able to. There you go, biomass capsule. So, 90 capsule a minute gives us 60 biomass. That's not a lot. Oh no. This may not be a power generator, unfortunately. That's not good. We may need to just look into getting a ton of the wind turbines and solar panels up. And kind of just going from there. I don't think farming's going to do it, guys. At least not yet. Maybe with the mycelia? Because I can turn mycelia directly into biomass as well, right? So when we get the mycelia plots unlocked, which need carrots, I might as well farm these carrots while I'm here, right? So we can output the carrots. This is going to be outputting carrots and biomass on one output, right? We've only got the one. Oh, it was talking about I don't have a harvester yet, right? So I've got to manually harvest these. Oh, that was... Oh, okay, so that was all... This is all technically... Even though it looks like 4 plots, it is 1 plot. So I'm interacting with 1. Okay. Well... So I have 17 carrots, and what I need, like 100? But then if we look at this... See this? The potato seeds are backed up, and now there are potato seeds here. So this corn will not go in, because there's potato seeds backed up. Okay, let me try something. Let me see if I can't make this a tiny bit more efficient. But I don't see this being efficient at all until we get smart splitters. This could be a problem. The 1 output is really killing me. Let me play around with this, see what I can do. Alrighty, this is what I've got going for now. So, seed extractor, splits that into 2 lines, which splits that into 2 lines again. and they're just going in here. It's not going to be efficient whatsoever. This needs smart splitters. It's not even negotiable. Absolutely 100% needs smart splitters. So I don't think we're going to be farming yet. We'll try and get as many carrots as we can. So I've got carrots growing here, and we'll be able to use that for the upgrade in the hub. But until then, unfortunately, I think it's just going to be a bit more of a waiting game than anything. We'll just wait for the carrots, get that up. Once we have the automatic harvester module unlocked, then we can start exporting this into these. So I did have one just for like carrot, wheat, potato, and what's the last one? Carrot, wheat, potato, corn. Carrot, wheat, potato, and corn. But then there is also the biomass. And without a smart splitter, I have no way to separate them. So this is going to have to be all manually done for a while. This is not going to be the nice, big, pretty farm that I wanted it to be. We are not going to have automated power either. So, what does that mean? That means we need to leave this. We need to get out of here. How many jars of dirt do we have in here? Yes, that's enough. We don't even need to have the miner running. We'll just let that run on its own for a while. We need to head back. We need to find an alternative power source. I'm thinking we unlock the solar. Actually, the solar needed carbon, which needs coal. Oh, no. Okay, we unlock steel production first. It's all going to go in steps, guys. It's all going to go in steps. All right, we'll unlock steel first. Once we have steel unlocked, then we'll get solar panels unlocked. Once we have solar panels, we'll start manufacturing those. We will then get a bunch of solar panels up, and maybe I'll build some of those wind turbines as well, just while we're there. We might as well, right? I'll see if I can do something a bit more decorative, just because I've promised you guys some Solarpunky stuff today, and at the moment, nothing's happening. We've built a plain smart plating factory, and we've got just a couple farms that aren't doing anything. Okay, let me figure this out. I think steel is going to be the first thing we do. We do steel, and we just go from there. Okay, so we found coal. These guys are normal nodes, which is great because we're actually up near the pure iron. So we've got pure iron and normal coal. Obviously, there's water here. This is probably where you're meant to do coal power. But we're not doing that. So we're going to bring the coal back up this way towards that iron, I reckon. We've got copper here. That's actually quite good. Copper's good as well. Because I think some of the steel stuff is going to need copper later on. Okay. Let's do it. I'm going to get some miners on these coal nodes. We'll bring them up here to the iron, and then we might start some steel next to the smart plating. If any of you are wondering why I prioritized these conveyor lifts in the awesome shop, it's actually because of a little trick you can do that I guess is technically a glitch. I don't really know if it's a feature, but here, that's as tall as you can make a lift. Right? It does not go any taller. However, wabam, they link infinite height to a conveyor lift, which is super nice. Makes life a lot easier so you don't have random belts going everywhere. Although I didn't fix this. But yeah, so basically that's infinite height lifts. Super, super helpful. So conveyor lift, get it immediately. Alrighty, something I really didn't want to do, but we're running out of power way too much. And honestly, there's just not a lot of vegetation up in the Rocky Desert. Got a bit of wood down there, but that's kind of it. So I've had to resort to the wind turbines. I didn't want to do it, but I did. I climbed all the way up here. I hate doing this. Ugh, it's so ugly. We need to find a better way to get up here. But for now, each one of these is producing 11 megawatts. 11 megawatts times like 25. But you see I have to space them out so far because otherwise they just don't work. So yeah, but at least for now, the power grid is looking much, much nicer. Capacity of 838. So it kind of sucks, but I kind of had to do it. You know, it's out of sight. We'll probably never see this, but it had to be done. Had to be done, at least for now. Early game. It's all early times. So I'll head back and we'll start getting steel online now that we've actually got some power again. Alrighty, we've got some basic steel online. Now, something interesting is that with the refined power mod came a different way to make steel. So if we have a look over here, this is going to be the normal steel recipe you'd be used to, which is 45 iron ore plus 45 coal gives you 45 steel. It's a 1-to-1 ratio of iron to steel, and we just need to add the coal. Nice and easy. However, in this one, we have 45 carbon dust, which comes from that refined power mod, and 15 iron ingot gives us 30 steel. So we are actually doubling our iron, and it looks like we're using more coal. However, I don't think we actually are. 36 coal is giving us 90 carbon dust. So that's going between 2, which means we're actually only using about, what is that? Quick math, 18 coal. So we're using 18 coal and 15 iron to make 30 steel, compared to 45 to make 45. I mean, if we... oh, obviously it'd be 30. So that's way more efficient. Basically, all that needs to happen is we just need to smelt the iron into iron ingots first, and we need to turn the coal into carbon dust first. So I guess it uses up more space, it uses up more power, but other than that, we get way more steel. So that's quite exciting. Then what I want to do is I just want to quickly show you guys what our numbers are looking like here. So up the top there, we have got 2 lines of 60 coal coming in. These we're only using 36 of each. Then we've got the 120 iron that is coming out from that normal node, pure node, sorry, that we are actually only using 60 of. So we can expand this a bit, or we can utilize that other 60 iron and the other 24, and the other 24 coal. In the smelters, we are just turning 30 iron ore into 30 iron ingot, nice and easy. And in the constructors, we are turning 36 of that coal into 90 carbon dust. Great news, 1 smelter, 1 constructor splits evenly into 2 foundries. So we've got the 2 foundries down the bottom. Each of those is making 30 steel. So that means we are turning 60 iron ore into 120 steel, which is fantastic ratios. Really, really good. And it also means that we are now making 15 steel beams and 20 steel pipes each, so 40 steel pipes. It's not a massive amount, but it is something. And with that small amount of steel that we're making, we can now go and see if we can get some more upgrades in the hub. So let's head back there and see if we can't do that. Let's have a quick peek at what we can do. So we've got automation for our farm, the harvester module. Absolutely. Needs to be done. And dirt. Beautiful. So that unlocks us the Mark II farming, and it also unlocks the harvester module, which is nice. Let's have a quick look. Harvester module is fairly cheap. Does require steel, so it's good we did that. And the platform Mark II, quite cheap. Oh, it's just 4 times as big. Nice. That's cool. Alright. So we can finally start some actual automation with the plants, but we're gonna need smart splitters before we can do that, just because it's all on sushi belts. So maybe I try and prioritize getting some Caterium. Where is Caterium? Oh no. Ugh, okay. 800 meters isn't that bad. So what else can we upgrade in here? I already got refined power. I might have accidentally not clicked the record button first. So we do actually have access to solar panels. So that's quite good. For refined power, solar panels. They cost photovoltaic cells, I think those are called. And we've got the solar power tower. Converts water into steam. Place multiple mirrors to increase the heat level. Weird. I don't know what that is. So it's like a solar-powered steam generator. That's interesting. And we've got water turbine. Only placed in dedicated nodes. Generates 20 to 50 megawatts depending on the node. I mean, free water power is good. And solar panels. Well, what are those photovoltaic cells? How do we make those? Quartz. Okay. Quartz and carbon mesh, which is carbon dust and wire. So we need coal, copper, and quartz to make solar panels. That's doable. How much carbon dust do we need? 100 a minute. We can do that with the leftover coal that we've got at steel. And I think there is a copper node right next to it. So we could add a solar panel making factory near steel. Where is the nearest quartz? Okay. It is north. It's just northeast. So that's okay. So we should be able to bring some of the quartz back to that steel area as well. So if we can just get everything into steel, and then we can have some solar panels being made at steel, that's quite good. Okay. So automated farms and solar panels. Okay. Blueprints. We can do blueprints. Let's do it.
20 minutes later.
Alrighty, my journey for quartz has ended, but it has ended poorly. You may notice the grass is green here. That's because we're on the other side of the map. So, turns out, the closest quartz to us, that was all underground, which wasn't great. It was all behind explosives, so you had to explode the rocks to get there. Then you come further down, and all of this is the Red Forest. If you don't know about the Red Forest is extremely dangerous. Basically, all of the highest level enemies are here, and you will die if you are not prepared. So I ended up coming all the way down here, which isn't great. We're just hooked up to some wind turbines up there. But at least now we have quartz, some quartz crystal, and some silica being made. So hooray for that. So we got some of the quartz crystal and silica. But we're really far away. I don't really know how we're gonna do this with trying to pipe everything back there. Whether we try and build a base that's sort of halfway in between and kind of use that as I don't know. This is gonna be tricky. I might try and set up a base somewhere around here, somewhere outside of the Red Forest, but kind of halfway between kind of all of our iron and steel that we've set up, and halfway between this quartz. Might make the most sense. Maybe I'd try and get some tractors involved, because I did unlock tractors. I don't know. Honestly, we could just unlock hypertubes and just deal with the really long journey. That's another option. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Otherwise, we just need to prioritize getting explosives. And we just need to get the quartzes a lot closer. For now, I guess that'll stop the quartz detour. Maybe we go do Caterium. Because at least with Caterium, we can get the farms online. And maybe we can do the biomass generators with the farms. I don't think solar panels are going to be happening anytime soon with quartz all the way out here. So, let me go try and deal with Caterium next. And, we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we get a little bit more success than with the quartz here. Well, look at this. This is gorgeous. We've got a nice big waterfall. We got the Red Forest up there. As long as we don't go up there, it's fine. I mean, we're very close to the quartz. We're not that close to the base, but maybe this is where we build the base. This is quite nice. It's gorgeous. All right. Food for thought. This may be a base area. Because we could just platform out over this giant hole, right? You're not destroying nature if you're building over nothing. Maybe the start of a city here. You know, we got all this area. We got another void there. Imagine this as like a Solarpunk city. This could be gorgeous. Alright, maybe we need to move down here. I don't know. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Well, I managed to find some Caterium. That was pretty close. Obviously, there's the base over there. But I might have done something. So I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of a teaser treat on kind of what I'm planning to do. Look at this. This is kind of the aesthetic I'm going for. So this is kind of that solarpunky vibe, you know? Technology mixed with nature. I'm not a huge fan of like these like little tufts. Obviously, like when you're close, they're fine. But when you're pretty far away, the shadows are a bit weird. I'll need to figure out what I'm doing with that. I tried to clump together some grass and stuff like this here. It looks weird in shadow. And it doesn't work on the blueprints, unfortunately. Because they don't cost material, the blueprint doesn't read it as having a building on there. So I can't blueprint complex nature stuff, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks. But the trees are gorgeous. I love the trees. And some of you might see this and think, what the hell is this? Well, this is what I plan to do with my blueprints. So this is kind of the conveyor belt highway. I know on episode 1 I asked you guys whether you thought maybe highways or floaty belts would look better. A few people did say floaty belts, but there were a couple saying highway. And I gotta admit, highway is really, really good for blueprints. So I can have a bunch of lines of stuff on here, and I can just build it out of a blueprint. So this is kind of what I'm going for at the moment. Right now I've got copper and quickwire coming in. So we've got 2 smelters over here that are constructing into quickwire, and this is actually using an alternate recipe. So this is using the Caterium ingot into wire. So we're going to have 240 wire going up and 120 quickwire going up. And that's all coming off of just this one node up here. So that's quite nice. We're going to have quickwire and plenty of wire, which means I can free up some of the copper for doing other things. Yeah, so that's kind of a little glimpse into where I'm heading with this. This was actually quite fun to build, but it took a hot minute, I'm not gonna lie. I think I've been playing for about 2 hours. So 2 hours to build this. Obviously, the more I do it, the faster I'll get. It's just, you know, playing around with all the different things you can do with these mods. Like we got these hanging ivies, which are really cool. I love these. I'll definitely be using those a lot. These foundations are quite cool. They're actually technically just concrete foundations with a material. So that's just the grass material. Obviously it's quite flat, but from a distance, I think it looks quite good. Look at that. I'm super chuffed with this. Actually, I'll quickly show you. I don't even know if I can get back up there easily. I've made a couple more blueprints to go along with that conveyor highway. So we've got conveyor T. So this is going to be a T junction. Let's see if I can just kind of get the idea. So that's the straight one. Then I just made one with a little T junction off that way as well. And we've also got the 4-way junction. So yeah, I reckon I could have these going pretty much all the way throughout the whole world, really. Ideally, we want to set up a base down here, right? So we can kind of keep all this up here if I can get all of that all of that infrastructure in to get it all the way down there. We could always have hypertubes underneath it. We could have trains underneath as well. So this is kind of just the start. This is just the start. I don't know if I want these to be completely floating or whether I want to have support every now and then. Typically in the Solarpunk vibe, there's quite a lot of floating stuff. Like flying is kind of seen as the technology. So I might just keep it floating. I guess we'll see. Well, as I build the trains and the hypertubes, it may get too cluttered and I may want to cover it up and then I'll end up building a support foundation anyway. So yeah, that's quickwire done. All of this was just a massive detour so that we could try and get smart splitters. So let's head back to the MAM now that we've got some quickwire and see how far we are from smart splitters. I think we need to get AI limiters as well. So we'll need to get AI limiters set up. Give me a sec, let me head back to the base and we'll head to the MAM. Alrighty, so back at the MAM, I've unlocked the zip line. I've also unlocked AI limiters. So these are going to need the quick wire and the plates, copper plates. So I suppose, is that going to be in here? AI limiters. 100 quick wire and 25 copper plate. Wow, that's pretty much all the quick wire. That's not great. I mean, we don't need that many smart splitters. I might drop this production down to like 2 a minute. Because we won't need that many AI limiters. So if we drop this down to 2 a minute, then we're only using 40 quick wire. And then we'll still have, whatever that is, 80 quick wire left. And then we only need 10 copper sheet. We do have copper sheets being made over here. And maybe we turn one of these ones that are making our wire into another copper sheet, because we've got the wire coming in from over there now. I need to bring all of those belts all the way across. That's gonna be pretty rough. Anyway, let's have a look here, because these are using 15 copper ingot. So we could probably get rid of 2 of these, turn them into more plate. How much are the plates using? 20 ingot to make 10 sheet. So if I could convert these 2 to making plates, and we just need 15 a minute. So I could actually drop this down to say, what is it, 7.5? And if I do 2 of those at 7.5, then we'd be pretty good. That's 15 copper sheet. Beautiful. I'll just disconnect it from here for now. So 3 AI limiters a minute. So I'll need to get the quick wire over to here. This can build another bin down here somewhere. We're running out of room for bins, actually. Ooh, we're gonna need to expand our storage. I guess we could pump it into this one. But, actually I can probably replace this with actual ladders now that I have ladders. Okay, detours, lots of detours. First things first, we need to get quick wire over here. Oh my lord, that is so far away. Okay, that probably means I'm gonna need way more silica, because I do not think I have nearly enough silica on me. What have I got? 426. And these take up 16 silica? It's actually not that much. It's actually quite cheap on silica. Metal beams might be a problem. 32 metal beams. Okay, let me see what my inventory, how far my inventory is going to get me. But I'm probably going to need to do a few trips to get the stuff over here. But I think it'll be good, because it means we can kind of reuse this area. We can destroy it and rebuild it. As long as we've got better miners and overclocking, we can expand this area like crazy. But again, I don't know if I want to stay here. It's just, there's so many normal nodes. 6 normal nodes of iron is so nice. So maybe this will just be iron production, and I'll pipe it all the way back over to that waterfall, wherever that waterfall is. Ugh. There's gonna be a lot of grinding in this playthrough, I think. Just because I want to go everywhere. I want everything all the time. I'm too greedy. Alright, give me 5 minutes. Let me, 5 minutes. Give me like 50 minutes to try and get these conveyor belts down here. I'll be back. Well, I made it pretty far. I like it. It does look cool. It feels nice to run in. Imagine just running up here instead of being all the way down there. It's kind of cool. Little pathways. But we're gonna need a lot more resources. Iron rods and concrete are actually the first thing that I ran out of. So we'll need to get those. I think I got plenty of that, but then I've also got the steel up here. I figure I'll maybe try and get to the steel as well. And then I could try and get kind of mass storage all in one. Alright, I'll go get more steel, go get more iron rods, go get more concrete, and then keep going with this. Okay, I'm out of materials again, but I'm noticing a problem. Can you notice a problem? It might have something to do with angles. I don't think I aligned this factory to the world grid. Whoops. Yeah. Jazzy's tips and tricks from last episode, I didn't follow them. And now I'm not in the world grid. So that means I've got to go at an angle. I'll figure this out. Going at a 45-degree angle might be okay. Going at like really weird angles sucks, but I think we're just off by 45. Yeah. Okay, I'll get even more resources, come back, and then we'll see if we can't deal with this angle problem. Better yet, it wasn't 45 degrees. Oh no. Okay. I've really goofed this up. Well, I guess angles and curves are slightly cooler than just 90 degrees. But I'm gonna need to patch all this up. This is gonna be fun. Especially with glass. Oh, okay. I'll keep going. I'm gonna patch these up later because I do have another idea for the roofs. Follow the tips and tricks. Don't do what I did. Snap to world grid if you don't want these problems. Alright. Oh, I don't even know what angle we're on now. I mean, if we just go straight through here, we could pipe along, surely. I mean, I think it's kind of working. Oh, I need more steel beams. Oh, okay. Let me go get more steel beams, but we just need to get to there, right? This is kind of fine, maybe? Alright, give me a sec, I'll get more steel beams. Okay. I guess. It's functional. Oh boy. Alright. I need to actually conveyor belt all the quick wire over here. And then we can start making those AI limiters. But, wow. What a journey. And none of it's straight. Tell you what, let me try and fix up this angle. Because if this angle is easy enough to fix, then maybe we just keep it unaligned to the world grid and have to try and problem solve our angles. Because, you know, maybe it'll look cooler, look a little more interesting. We don't want everything to just be straight lines, surely. Okay, so how would I go about fixing this? Well, we have this, right? One there. One there. Grab that. This is how they intersect, which that isn't great. That's not fantastic, I'll admit. This looks a bit meh. I don't love that. What do we do with this? Could we just use beams? We go with the metal beam. I mean, it's functional. It connects them. We could just use beams. No glass is a bit weird, but I mean, if we're down there, you're probably not going to notice there not being glass. The roofs, they could be another problem. Oh god. Oh. My color scheme right now is white and green. I didn't realize it makes the letters look awful. I'm going to keep it. That's disgusting. That's horrendous. I love it.
That's gross. I love it.
Actually, can I do anything with these windows? Ooh. Maybe. Because they can snap to the beams, right? Ooh. What if we do that? Okay, okay, hold on. That's something. I like that. We put a roof on there. What happens? It's okay from down here. No, that's okay. That's okay. There's a little clipping. But you're not really going to notice the Z fighting. Oh, I don't love that. I don't love the Z fighting. That's a bit... Look, it is functional. It is functional. Even put one here. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's pretty snazzy. Okay, okay. I don't hate that. So the roofs, I think, are going to be okay. It's just, we can't really do anything with these, just because the glass, you can always see the clipping. You can't blend the clipping like you can up here. So I think we'll just do beams across the bottom. If we do that glass, then we have a mounting point. I quite like it. I quite like it. Oh, that's actually quite clean. That is quite clean. I think I've outdone myself there. I like it. All right. That'll do. That'll do. Screw it. We're committing. We're committing to it. Because the other option is to destroy everything and completely rebuild that to the world grid. And I don't really feel like it, you know? Doing stuff like this sort of problem solving, I quite like it. And you know what? It works. And I think it's better than a 90-degree angle. I really do. Oh, okay. Let me grab all of this Caterium quickwire. Well, once that quickwire finally comes all the way down, which it's got quite the journey to make. There it is there. Coming through nice and slow. But once we've got that done, we've got the plates coming in, and the AI limiters are going to be going into that bin there. So, wow. Absolutely massive detour when all I wanted to do was automate farms, huh? Sushi belts, they kill you. So all of this is just so that we can split up the seeds going into the farms, and so that we can split up the outputs, because it's going to have like carrots and the biomass capsules. We need to split those up going out of the farms. Oh, I mean, fix-it farming, if you just had 4 inputs and 2 outputs, life would be so much easier. But, you know, that's the challenges we need to make. We need to get through them. Still, I'm still really proud of that building. That is sexy. Oh, I love it. Imagine that, but a whole city of it. Just a massive city of Solarpunk buildings. It's going to be gorgeous. Still don't think I'm going to do it out here. Out here is probably still going to be smaller factories. Like I might keep steel there, you know. I think there's some limestone over here. Maybe we'll make a concrete factory. But I still want to make that base down by that waterfall, because that was absolutely gorgeous. That's kind of cool. I like that. The environment in this game is so nice and so well done. And if any of you have ever done any sort of games design before, you know that this takes a lot of effort. You've got to place all of these. This ain't auto-generated. Every single texture has been placed. Man. Coffee Stain Studios? Respect. Oh, we got quickwire. Hold up. Does that mean that we have AI limiters? Oh, I don't know what's going on here. That's freaky. Do we have AI limiters net? Well, bam. We do. We have limiters. So let's go check out in the hub. What do we need? Oh, we only need 10. Okay, well now we've got to wait 10 minutes because I threw a hard drive in there like a moron. But AI limiters, do we have 10 made? No. It's only 3 a minute. I guess the quickwire only just got there. We'll wait until we've got these AI limiters. I guess I'll wait 10 minutes for this to be done. But yeah, once we've got that, we'll get the smart splitters online. Then we'll head to the farms. We'll get the farms done. And then we might call it there once I have automated power. This whole thing has just been, how do you get automated power without coal? You know, that's quite difficult. Even with mods, you know, we've got wind farms. We can't really get solar yet because our quartz is so far away. But the wind farms just do not generate enough power. I actually did end up making a blueprint for these wind turbines. And these are spaced perfectly so that they can generate wind. So now that I have this blueprint, I could just go up somewhere tall and just set up a ton of these What was the fun in that? You know, I wanted to do the farming, so let's get the farming done. Plus, I don't know, the wind turbines, they're so cheap, they're so cost efficient. Yes, I could just spam them all over the environment, and yes, we would probably just be able to power everything with just 1,000 of these. Where's the fun in that? It's no fun. You know, this game's about exploring, trying different things. That's what I'm gonna do. How many tickets do we got? 7 tickets. I did just AFK for a while, so we have unlocked a lot of the decorations, which is nice because all of our smart plating is just being sunk. I haven't captured a single bit of smart plating because I figure we haven't got up in the top right there. We need 1,000 smart plating, 1,000 versatile framework, and 100 automated wiring to get into the next section, the next phase. I figure we're so far away from that it doesn't really matter if I get 1,000 smart plating, because I'll build a factory to make smart plating efficiently later. You know, for now, I just want to get all the decorations unlocked, so I'm syncing everything. Have I been blabbering on long enough? Almost. There we go, we got 10 limiters. Well, I think it's time to get these farms up and running properly. So now that we have the smart splitters, we can do that. We can separate the seeds and we can separate them into their 4 components. I think I do want to utilize most of this space though, because I think it'd be cool to set this up as like a really nice green farm area. Maybe this will be a more of a blueprint into what it could look like when we put a ton of effort into it. But I still want to do something nice. I still want to make it look good. I'm thinking maybe we build like a barn or something. So if we have like a barn that's housing a lot of the stuff inside of it, that way it's kind of a bit more hidden. And then we just have the farms out here. Maybe the barn can hide the miner. So if we have the barn sort of there, then we're hiding the miner. We can hide the seeds. I think that'd be kind of cool. We can hide all the storage in there too. And then we just have the actual farms themselves scattered around. I would like to have a tractor going around the place. That would be cool to have just a tractor moving through. Food for thought. Well, I'm going to destroy all of this. And then I think we just need to start building sort of a foundation for how big we want it to be. And then we'll just start with the practical side of it. See if we can't get these smart splitters set up. And see where we go from there. Alright, I'm going to start destroying. Okay, we have a farm. Oh, look at this. I'm pretty stoked with this. I think I want to build another little barn to kind of cover this area, but again, this was more of like a tester for what could come. I love the barn. The barn's pretty cool. I did find out there are solar panel roofs. I obviously haven't unlocked them yet, but that's definitely what's going on there. We're going to be putting solar panels on the roofs. Got a little wind turbine there. Maybe we'll get a bigger one later. But some of you may notice something's happening here. So I want to go through this, and I want you guys to let me know if you think this is cheating. I honestly, I think it is. However, for aesthetic reasons, specifically for the farm where I don't want conveyor belts running everywhere, these are underground belts, is what they call them. But essentially, you put an input here, and then you put an output here, and then they are joined together. So anything you input into here will output into here. They call it underground belts. It's technically just teleporting, I suppose. So it feels a little cheesy. I'd probably only use it in this sort of situation. In like a farming area when I don't want to have belts running everywhere. Because we're going for that aesthetic, right? I'll leave it up to you guys to let me know if you think it's too much. But I really like it. It makes it look really, really clean. I don't love this harsh line here. I've been trying to find a way to kind of blend it together. But I really can't figure out a good way to do it. The best way I could really find is with these like sand cliff kind of pieces, where if you kind of lay them in the ground a little bit, then you get this sort of effect where that sort of blends it in, but I don't love it. They're never the same color. I can't get like the same color to match. I've tried using the bushes, but they keep leaving these weird like shadows when you're at a distance. They do that. See how you get that like really harsh circle shadow? I don't love that either. For now, we've just got the harsh line, but I think I'd like to try and figure out a way to kind of blend them together. It'd be nice if there was just like a spray paint tool and I could just kind of spray paint it on, but obviously that's not going to happen. This barn, I absolutely love. These are all just painted beams. So obviously they are clipping, but I think it looks good enough that we don't need to worry about that. I was considering in these corners doing these beam connectors to kind of hide those seams. The problem is that the beam connectors you can't color. I don't know why this is doing that, but the beam connectors are going to be black, and I don't love that. I guess I'd rather have the tiny gap up there. But let's go see what's happening. So I guess I probably should explain this first. Over here we have got the seeds. So we've got dirt being mined up from two sources, just because they're both impure nodes. They are actually underneath here. That's where they are there. So I managed to hide that a little bit, which I quite like. It's nice that I don't have to like see the dirt. So we've got the miners coming up here. They merge together and go into this seed extractor. So I don't actually know how efficient this is. What, we're getting 30 jar of dirt, 60 jar of dirt a minute. But I don't know what the input is. Like, it doesn't tell me how much dirt I need to make seed. If I was guessing, I would say it would be 1 dirt to 1 seed. So maybe I need to double this and get 120. Triple, quadruple, my god. I would have to put these to Mark II and then overclock them in order to get this to be super efficient, I think. I'm not 100% sure what the numbers are. But then we are creating seeds, and these seeds are going into these smart splitters. So left is going to carrot, right is going to then potato, then wheat, and then corn. All of the overflow is just going into a sink. Basically, if this backs up, then everything stops. So that's why I'm just sinking excess, although it hasn't backed up yet, which is nice. So that's what the seeds are doing. The seeds are then using those underground conveyor lifts, and those underground conveyor lifts are going to each one of these farms. So each one of these farms is just doing a single crop. So this is currently just doing corn, but as you can see, nothing has backed up, which is what we want. What was happening last time was that we would have, 4 different seeds going in here, and if potato backed up, then corn couldn't grow, and then it was just a nightmare. I guess with these bigger plots, we could have one of each. So we could have corn, wheat, and just have them all in the one plot, because now these are actually 4 different plots. We could do that, but it's a bit more of a mess, because then you've got sushi belts coming out, whereas at least this way I've got 4 individual outputs. We do still have the issue where we are outputting both a resource and a biomass capsule, so I have had to do a little bit of finagling to try and get that to work. This, I'm going to admit, is a bit of a mess. There is some stuff that's clipping. I hate it, but I didn't want to have to rebuild the whole thing. It'd be as simple as moving these storage containers a little bit further apart so that I didn't get clipping in these elevators. For now, I've done it as best I can, but again, this is sort of a temporary one. So this is more of like a what's to come sort of thing. So, oh my, did I delete one? Whoops. How did I do that? That's my bad. Let me quickly fix this. Okay, here we go. So essentially how this works is that we've got the inputs coming in, or the outputs, I guess. So this one is doing carrots, this one is doing the potatoes, the wheat, and the corn. So how it works is corn and biomass capsules are both going to go into this bin. They're going to come out of this bin and they're going to get smart split. The left output is the biomass, center is corn. Corn is just going to go straight up into here, which is then going to go into this bin. And this one is where all the actual resources are going to fill up, and the biomass capsule is going to go across. So how this is going to work is that biomass capsules come here, then they go up this way, then they overflow left again, and they go up this way, and they overflow left again. So it's basically just a compilation of just merging lines and overflow lines. That means that all the biomass capsules all come down this way into these two constructors, which are making biomass. All of the actual resources go back over the top and into those top containers. So if we have a look up here, might be a better view from the top. This is where you can kind of see clipping that I don't love. But basically, this is all my carrots, potatoes, wheat, and corn. We've got tons so far, which I'm absolutely loving. So that's pretty cool. Then we do have a emergency overflow line, because again, if anything backs up, then everything stops. And this is now my power generation. So all of these lines have an overflow line as well. So when it overflows, everything is going to go down to this sink, and we're just going to be sinking it all. Which, I mean, you know, isn't ideal. I'd love to have more storage, but a double chest of these should be more than enough for now before we start actually building the other factories. So what is this doing? This is making us, I believe, 120 biomass a minute. I'm not sure because I still don't know what the throughput is of the seeds and stuff, but it should be that we're getting 120 biomass, which is then being produced into 60 biofuel. Now, I have got these split between 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 6, 13. I've got these split between 13 generators. Now, that's not necessarily the most efficient because these take 4 a minute, so I could do 15 generators. However, because I'm just doing this overflow method, where everything is just overflowing between them all, well, you know, these front ones are going to be getting the most biomass, but these top ones aren't going to be getting a whole lot. Because if we have a look up here, all of those had about 200 in them. I'm willing to bet these aren't going to have nearly that much in them. These guys, 117, but these ones right at the end, only 24. So as the biomass stacks up, as it fills up, it'll come through, which is great, but I don't think this is ever going to back up. And even if it does, I have the overflow protection. So, yeah, this is now what I would call automated power. I actually don't know how much is here. Is what, these are making 30 megawatts a second. And 30 times by 13 is 390, which I'll be honest, that's not even nearly enough headroom. We have a capacity of 1300, but that's with our other one that we've got down the back. It's not ideal. It's not perfect, but it's better than what we had. At least this will tie us over now until we can get solar panels, and then we can get a massive battery storage, and we can get solar panels going. But at least we've got all the resources. We've got this pretty cool farm. I love the barn. It's super cool. So, yeah, I think this might do us for today's episode. This was quite a long episode for me to film. I don't know how long it's going to be for me to edit. But wow, we did a lot. So we did a farm. We did steel over here. We did this giant bloody conveyor belt throughput highway. We made the Caterium base over here. That's really cool. I love that. So we did a lot. We didn't actually make any progress on the space elevator though. So what I reckon we do next time is we head over to that waterfall and we start building our main structure of a base. We won't be doing anything complete yet, but we will just slowly start bringing all the resources together so we can start building the Solarpunk city. I like this aesthetic. I'm loving the whites, the greens, the reds from the barns are really cool. We're gonna have the blues from the solar panels. I'm liking the aesthetic. It's nice. Obviously, there are limitations of what we can do in Satisfactory, like this floor that I don't love, but, you know, we work with what we got. I did say I wanted to have tractors in here, but this ended up being too small to have tractors. So when we build a big one, that's when we'll have some tractors running through, and I think that'll be cool. But yeah, let me know if you guys prefer these longer, more in-depth project episodes, or whether you prefer the shorter ones that are going to come out more often. Because as of me finishing recording this, it has been 2 weeks. I did have some issues where I had to get a new microphone and yada yada yada. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like if you've made it this far, subscribe if you enjoyed and you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.